We've recently got some new Dragon Age concept art, thanks again to Matthew Goldman and Christian Daly. And it made me think that we've got a lot of Grey Warden concept art for them to be potentially setting up the Wardens to play a major role in the next Dragon Age game. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the more recent information we've got on the Grey Wardens, what it might mean, and what I'd like to see the Grey Wardens up to in the next Dragon Age game. Starting with the Dragon Age novel The Last Flight by Leanne Messier. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. A Grey Warden recruit, Valia, comes across the diary of Isaiah, a Grey Warden from the Exalted Age. The diary contains information on the findings and location of baby Griffon eggs. Valia, Caranol, Ramus, and Sekka rescue these 13 baby Griffons and return them to their home, Weisshaupt. Two things I find interesting here. The first is how much Weisshaupt is mentioned in all the Dragon Age recent information that we have got. A lot of it in books and even in teasers in the Dragon Age main game ending sliders. So I have a feeling that we are going to be going to Weisshaupt and something big is happening there. Potentially a main story or maybe an origin story. But secondly, of course, the findings of 13 baby Griffons. So they are probably Griffons at Weisshaupt at the moment in the Dragon Age game timeline. And I hope that means we actually get to see them. I don't think we'd be able to actually have one as like a mount, but to see the Grey Wardens use them and for them to establish themselves as the heroic warriors or fighters they once were, on their griffons and flying into battle would be amazing. Next, I wanted to talk about the Inquisition main game ending sliders to do with the Grey Wardens. If you had the Grey Wardens help the Inquisition, these Grey Wardens vow to help humanity in their fighting against ancient foes. It is also said that they severed ties with the leaders of Weisshaupt and that a bitter war rages between them. It is also said that all news from Weisshaupt ends. If you had the Grey Wardens banished, they return to Weisshaupt, and a battle for control has erupted. If the Warden ally is alive, they lead the Grey Wardens in their rebellion, a fight to change the order within. So these two endings tell me that there is infighting going on at Weisshaupt between Grey Wardens. Maybe they have differences in opinion for what the Grey Wardens are meant to be or going to be. Maybe the Grey Wardens unearth something or have a plan and they don't all agree. Maybe one of them is corrupted. What would be cool if we had an origin story where we could play as a Warden again, and it would start off in Weisshaupt and we could know these Grey Wardens. They would be our friends or our leaders, and that would be like our own personal quest as a Grey Warden to sort out this infighting. Or if it wasn't our own personal quest, it could be part of the main quest, and even a character from another origin story could visit Weisshaupt and have to deal with this infighting going on. And if we did play as a Warden, we'd have an easier time in sorting out the fight because we know these people. I don't know, I just think that would be really cool if we could play as a Warden again. But because of Weisshaupt being mentioned so much and the Grey Wardens all leaving to go there, I think it could definitely be like a main story for the protagonist to go and visit them and sort out what's going on there. I hope that means that we could also meet characters that we've met in the books, like Valia, Efka, Ramesh, and maybe even Blackwall. If he was a Warden, he was sent to Weisshaupt. And if we played as a Warden, we could like know them, but I don't know if we are going to play as a Warden. I feel like because they already did that in Origins, I'm not sure if they would have that as an origin story again, even though I would love it. But I can see something about the infighting to have a major role to play, or at least a role to play in the next Dragon Age game. Next, I wanted to talk about something very important, the Black War romance. Or Tom Rainier, if you had him change his name. I usually do. But what's interesting I wanted to talk about, if you had him given to the Wardens, even as a friendship, he goes to Weisshaupt, which is interesting. Or if you romance Tom at the end of Trespasser, the ending slider that you get says that he is summoned to return to Weisshaupt Fortress. He ignores the Warden's request for a year, but then the messages get too urgent and he has to leave. So again, whatever's happening there is obviously pretty big. I mean, we know everything else happening, Canary, Old Gods, Soulless, Tevinter, everything happening there, but what's happening with the Grey Wardens? That's interesting. But something I think cool that is mentioned here, I'm reading off the Dragon Age Wiki, and that is the Inquisitor receives a Warden Constable's badge along with a single pure white Griffon feather. So we know that Tom is among the Griffons and that there are Griffons definitely at Weisshaupt at the moment. And there could be a cool battle with Griffons flying. Wardens are also mentioned in the Tevinter Nights novel, The Horror of Hormak short story by John Epler. Grey Wardens, Ramesh and Lesha, venture into the Deep Roads on a rescue mission. They find elven ruins, mutated darkspawn, and a grey liquid pool with suspended above a green-yellow lyrium crystal. Ramesh is the only one to make it out alive, and they find out that there are 11 other of these ruins with possible creatures and potential danger if humans ingest this grey liquid. I would love to see Ramesh return, and I would love to see the Grey Wardens investigating this. Maybe this could be what they're fighting about. I don't see why the Grey Wardens wouldn't want to destroy these creatures. I guess it could be potentially dangerous, them all going down there. I would love though for this story to continue in the next Dragon Age game and for our protagonist to destroy these ruins and find more about who this her was that Jorvis mentioned, possibly controlling this grey liquid, turning and mutating these darkspawn. Next, I wanted to talk about the short story released on Dragon Age Day called The Next One by Brianne Batty. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm very bad at last names. This is a short story about Warden Lawrence, who is in the Deep Roads, who finds Evka. They find each other in the Deep Roads, with Warden Lawrence vowing to help Evka out of there. Warden Lawrence is hurt and is taken by a spirit of perseverance, as he just wanted to save one more. They also fight these mutated darkspawn creatures, so again we have mentioning of them, and I think we're going to be seeing them in the next Dragon Age. As well, this is the second mention of Evka, so I hope we really get them as a potential companion or appearance at Weisshaupt in the next game. In this short story Hunger, which is also written by Brianne, featured in Tevinter Nights, it tells the story of Evka and Anton, who are summoned also to Weisshaupt and get in a little bit of trouble in a village along the way. Anton ends up getting bitten by a werewolf, but with the source of the curse of the werewolf dead, they believe that Anton is okay and they continue venturing onto Weisshaupt. So maybe we're going to meet Anton and deal with his potential werewolf curse at Weisshaupt. That would be cool, as well as Evka being there. I would really love for them to be a companion. They have so many of these Warden characters now from the Dragon Age novels to potentially appear in the next Dragon Age game. I just really hope they include them. Next, I wanted to talk about some of the behind the scenes concept art that we got. And two concept arts looks like it could be Weisshaupt Fortress. It looks like it's like built into rock. So I hope that it actually is, and it means that we are going to Weisshaupt. It looks like there is a Griffon sculpture statue here. We also get footage of some of what appears to be the Deep Roads. So that could mean Wardens going into the Deep Roads. It could be us potentially investigating these 11 other ruins with these mutated darkspawn with the Wardens maybe. Maybe we join up with them. Or could this have something to do with the old gods maybe? Maybe we are looking for them. We also have Wardens mentioned again in the voiceover artist behind the scenes clip of Ike Amity, who is playing Davrin. So they could be potentially a companion maybe. I would love for them to be a companion. They could be the character in the concept art that we recently got. They could be the first Warden or a commander or leader of some sort, someone who we meet at Weisshaupt or who is going to help us. They could also be the protagonist, and I would love his voice as a protagonist. That would be amazing. But I can't wait to find out more about who Davrin is. If they are saying for the Wardens, I mean, that could be a protagonist saying that, but that could be like in a main story mission where we're joining up with the Wardens. It just sounds so epic, and it sounds like the Wardens are going to do something good. I hope. We also have another concept art I was looking at of what looks to be potentially a Warden fortress, or a Warden is this character here, shown in the behind the scenes concept art. Their armor does look a little the same as the recent concept art we just got. They're holding a shield, they have a cape, they have the same winged Warden helmet. In the concept art, it looks very like green and fade like outside. Is this Solus tearing down the veil, or maybe something worse? Maybe something to do with the elven gods that the Grey Wardens now have to fight? Looking at the flags above in the behind the scenes concept art, the flags do look a little different. You can't really tell if that is the same usual Griffon symbol that they have, or is it something else? Maybe it's a different faction of Grey Wardens that we haven't seen. The Warden in the new concept art looks very regal. The Wardens at Weisshaupt at the moment seem to either be unstable or gathering their army to do something really badass. Maybe they are summoning Grey Wardens to the potential of a next blight. You see in some of the behind the scenes footage that blighted disease coming up from the earth. It is seeping above, and someone's going to have to stop that. Did maybe someone awaken that? But returning to the concept art that was shown, I think it could either be a companion or a protagonist, but I'm leaning towards companion just because something in the back of my mind I remember them saying is that we're going to be playing as like somebody who doesn't have any special power, and that could be a Grey Warden, that could be a Mortalitazi, a Sakari, that could be someone joining a faction. So they could make sense with that, and I hope that they might do that, because I do really want origin stories back. With all this setup that they're showing in the concept art, I didn't think, even with the Inquisition main game endings, that Wardens would be focused heavily or even in a main storyline. But with all this setup, including in novels, it points to them having like a major role, which I don't mind. I'm very happy to see the Grey Wardens in the next game. If there's a group to take on Solus, I hope we get to at least help the Grey Wardens if they're not doing something bad again. I don't think they are. At least I don't think the good ones are, because Evka, Anton, and Valia, and Ramesh wouldn't stand for it, I don't think. So here's to the Grey Wardens being in the next Dragon Age game. I would love to see it, and I'm excited to see what else they have to show us, because this is just one part, and with all the other concept art that they have shown us, there is just so much that they could do and to be excited for, and I can't wait to see how they use all this. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching.